The idea of films or television shows being cursed dates back since the beginning of film. Even before that, you had certain theatrical performances like Macbeth that were deemed to be cursed just by mentioning the name during the show. Recently, more and more information has come to light that the show Glee may be cursed as well. Today, we're going to be purely speculating on some examples as to why that show might be cursed. It's pure speculation, so please do not take what I'm saying as evidence, and in no way am I trying to be disrespectful by attributing these tragedies to a curse. Just want to get that out of the way. Welcome to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and before we kick this video off, let me know down below what your favorite scary movie is and tell us why. Also, if you don't want to miss another daily video from us, make sure you tap that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Now, with any further delay, let's get right into today's list of the top 10 reasons Glee might be cursed. Might. Keyword might. In at number 10, Jesse Luken. Glee actor Jesse Luken, who played the character of Bobby Boom Boom Surratt, was busted in 2018 for a DUI when he crashed his car. Local Glendale law enforcement told TMZ that they received calls of a car crash, and when they arrived on the scene, found Luken's Toyota up on the curb with the airbags deployed. No other cars seemed to be involved in the crash, and his right front tire was absolutely mangled. Jesse reeked of booze and utterly failed his field sobriety test, which then led to probable cause to arrest him for driving under the influence. Jesse was part of the show for most of 2012, but just like his fellow co-stars, his life has been in turmoil since his departure from the show. I know these may seem like curses, but I think at the root, this is more of a problem with Hollywood actors or Hollywood in general, and just allowing them to kind of do whatever they want. I'm sure we'll see more examples of that later on. In at number 9, BECCA TOBIN. BECCA TOBIN played the role of Kitty Wilde on Glee from 2012 to 2015, and although she seems to have made it out unscathed, her boyfriend was not so lucky. Her boyfriend was a nightclub owner named Matt Bendick, and unfortunately in 2014 he was found dead in a hotel room in Philadelphia. According to those close to the family, Becca and Matt were believed to have been on a business trip at the time of the tragedy. His family believes that he may have died from a heart attack amid the stress brought on by managing all of these businesses in his life. The eerie thing is that this happened 1 year after the death of Tobin's co-star Cory Monteith. According to TMZ, a hotel maid found Bendick's body at around 1 p.m. and law enforcement sources say that the housekeeper found the body on the bed face down. Bendick ran several major clubs around the country, but especially in Los Angeles, which is where he was the director of operations at the DBA nightclub. He also was a co-owner of AV nightclub, and according to his friends, he was not known as a partier. On Instagram, Becca posted a tribute to her boyfriend saying, "Thank you all for the love and support. Matt was the most extraordinary man I knew, and he will live in my heart forever." In at number 8, Jim Fuller. Jim Fuller was the assistant director of Glee and had been part of the crew for a long time. Out of the tragic endings that have befallen most of the Glee cast, Jim passed away due to natural causes. Jim was 41 at the time and passed in his sleep due to heart failure. In season 4 of the show, they actually did a tribute for him, and when Emma and Shu are having their wedding seat chat, a chair can actually be seen in the foreground with Jim's name on it. It was a nod to the longtime crew member who was loved by so many. To speculate on this Glee curse that everyone is obsessed with, I think it was more so the pressure of the show that caused a lot of terrible outcomes for all of those involved. Again, as I mentioned, Hollywood has a tendency of breaking even the strongest of people. Jim may have suffered from heart failure because of the stress of working on the show year after year. A heavy work schedule with long filming days for several years isn't the best way to keep your heart in a healthy state. In at number 7, Lea Michele. Something that adds to the pressure of filming is who you have to work with. If you're working in a toxic environment day after day and the person bullying you is the star, this can have some nasty outcomes. Lea Michele has been accused by several people for being kind of an absolute nightmare to work with. Her co-star Matthew Morrison appeared via Zoom on Fubar Radio's Access All Areas and was asked about Lea's bullying, and he seemed to get visibly uncomfortable. He immediately attempted to downplay the accusations and shift topics by saying that bigger issues are going on in the world right now. He's not wrong, but this is also something we need to discuss. Here's a prime example of why the cast has had such a terrible time following the show. I think that whatever went on behind the scenes was kept hidden from the public. They play these cheerful high school kids, but in reality they were all adults with some demons. Now, with Matt not acknowledging the accusations made against Lea and covering for her, it only discredits what these people have kind of opened up to say about her. In at number 6, Samantha Ware. One of Lea Michele's accusers is Samantha Marie Ware, who appeared in the show in season 6 as the character Jane Hayward. The accusation was that Lea had participated in traumatic microaggressions that made her reconsider her career. This came to light when Lea Michele tweeted about Black Lives Matter following the death of George Floyd. Samantha replied to this tweet saying, "Remember when you made my first television gig a living hell? Cause I'll never forget. I believe you told everyone that if you had the opportunity you would in my wig, amongst other traumatic microaggressions that made me question a career in Hollywood. Lea Michele, who played the character Rachel Berry, apologized for her behavior towards Ware, but due to this tweet, Lea ended up losing her sponsorship with HelloFresh because of the accusations. Racial discrimination on set could be a very good reason this show might be cursed, at least culturally. In number 5, Amber Riley. Amber Riley, who played Mercedes Jones on the show, said that she received many notes from actors of color who had, let's say, less than perfect interactions on the set of Glee. While speaking on Instagram Live with journalist Danielle Young, they discussed racism while on set. In the video, Amber said, "In my inbox, there are a lot of black actors and actresses telling me their stories and letting me know they have dealt with the same things being on set, being terrorized by the white girls that are the leads of the show." I mean, that's gonna be traumatic. It's gonna cause some problems. In number 4, Nancy Motes. This one was really heartbreaking, and it came a year after Monteith and Jim Fuller had just passed. Nancy was not only the sister of Julia Roberts, but she also worked as a production assistant on Glee. At the age of 37, she died after drowning in a bathtub, though. Police reported that there were prescription and non-prescription pills where she was, and a suicide note was found as well. She claimed in her final note that Julia Roberts specifically had been so cruel to her that she drove her into the deepest depression she had ever been in. Following the death of Nancy and Jim, fellow production assistant Christina Legman spoke to the Daily Mail about the concern of Glee being cursed. Christina said, "She was such a good friend to me, it's just shocking. Yes, she had her own little struggles, but when we got together, we just bonded and she never let them get to her. It's such a shock. What with Cory passing last year, then we had a crew member, Jim Fuller, die, now we've got this hit and it's almost too much. Glee was like a family. We spent 12 hours a day together. We would refer to each other as the Glee family." In number 3, Cory Monteith. In 2013, Michelle's on-screen and real-life boyfriend Cory Monteith died at age 31 from an accidental drug and alcohol overdose. The actor who played Finn Hudson was open about his struggles with addiction before his death. The British Columbia Coroner Service said investigators found a spoon with drug residue and a used hypodermic needle in the hotel room where his body was found. The coroner Claire Thompson said in a report that she would classify his death as accidental, adding that Mr. Monteith was found in a collapsed position on the hotel room floor and appeared to have been dead for several hours. Cory's death was also written into the show that year in an episode called The Quarterback, though they never revealed how his character died in the show, although you could see the pain in everyone's face as they did their very best to honor his memory. His mother, Anne McGregor, spoke about her son's death to People magazine and explained that she took her son to rehab at ages like 15 and 19, even saying that his curiosity led him into a dark world that would further consume him. According to his mother, he also began using drugs after landing his role on Glee. In her opinion, he wasn't ready for the Hollywood world and drugs were his way of checking out. In at number 2, Mark Salling. Mark was cast in the TV show Glee in 2008, playing American football star Noah Puckerman. During his 6 seasons for the show, his performances led to Salling being nominated for a Teen Choice Award for Male Breakout Star. After police were reportedly tipped off by one of the star's ex-girlfriends, he was arrested on December 29, 2015, but wasn't charged with receiving and possessing child pornography until May 27, 2016. On January 30th, TMZ reported that Salling had taken his own life just weeks before he was due to be jailed over these charges. His lawyer would later confirm the death of the actor, who was found dead in a field close to where he lived. The haunting part about this is that people are pointing to an episode of the show where this very thing was predicted. Last but certainly not least, on our number 1 spot, Naya Rivera. Naya Rivera played the character of cheerleader Santana Lopez in 113 episodes of the hit musical show. In November 2017, though, she was arrested for domestic battery, and the 31-year-old's then husband, actor Ryan Dorsey, told the deputy that she struck him in the head and face. The couple were reportedly arguing over their son, but the charges were then dropped in January of 2018 after Dorsey decided not to seek prosecution. The couple finalized their divorce in June 2018 after nearly 4 years of marriage. As I say this, though, we are deeply saddened to learn that she has gone missing after her son was found alone in a pontoon boat on Lake Pyro. They are assuming that she had drowned, but the Ventura County Sheriff's Office has regularly been posting updates saying that they will continue to search for her. Following the 911 call, they tweeted, "Multiple teams of professional search and rescue personnel are actively searching Lake Pyro for clues to the location of Naya Rivera. With over 80 people involved in the search right now, we are using helicopters, boats, ATV vehicles, and ground personnel to try and locate her. Hopefully she will be found soon so that her family can at least be at peace." I mean, the tragedies that have befallen the cast of Glee have come from all angles, and I hope I didn't offend anyone by speculating that the show may be cursed because of these accidents. I mean, they're certainly all tragic, and again, with Naya Rivera, we just wish the best to her family. And that has been the top 10 reasons Glee might be cursed. I apologize for not reading out some of your comments, but I don't feel it's an appropriate time for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to our editors for all of your hard work. If you enjoyed this video, then please show some love here by tapping that like and subscribe button. Plus, don't forget to leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on today's list. And for more videos like this one, all you gotta do is tap that playlist when it pops up. From Top 10 Beyond the Screen, my name is Johnny Rogers, saying until next time, stay classy.